Hey guys, welcome to Croco Sports. So today I wanted to talk about the fantasy quarterbacks not named Lamar Jackson, not named Patrick Mahomes, not named Deshaun Watson. I wanted to give you the other guys who deliver. They're quality starters. They get what they're projected, and some games they'll surprise you. They'll surprise you with three passing touchdowns, 4 passing touchdowns, and I think these guys will be quality quarterbacks, and there's good value behind them. So the first quarterback I want to talk about is the Josh Allen hype train. I'm fully on the wagon for him. He had 3,089 passing yards. He had 20 passing touchdowns with following 9 interceptions. He had 109 carries, which is so crazy. He had 22 red zone carries. He had 510 rushing yards with 9 rushing touchdowns. So, having Josh Allen in your lineup, you have kind of a dual threat quarterback going on. So, that's not a bad thing to have at all. It's scary at times though, because you wonder how durable a quarterback can be. I mean, at such a young age, you never know. But to have him be your quarterback week in and week out, especially in the AFC East where it's wide open and the Patriots they don't have as much hype as they normally would. I mean, with Cam Newton, who knows? But still, Josh Allen is poised to have a really good season fantasy-wise as well. He doesn't have the best O-line. He had a 74% protect rate, so his O-line isn't really the best. But he's still worth it. He really is, and he's getting better every year, and this is the year where he might take off. So the next quarterback I wanted to talk about is Kyler Murray, and there's so much hype going around Kyler Murray right now because after him winning Rookie of the Year was huge. He had 3,722 passing yards along with 20 passing touchdowns with 12 interceptions. He's another one. He had 93 carries. He averaged about 6 carries a game. He had 19 red zone carries, which was number 3 in the league. He averaged about 17.5 fantasy points a game. And he had a 44.3% deep ball completion. So you add DeAndre Hopkins to that mix. That tight end room is a question mark, but it's definitely a sleeper one at that with Dan Arnold and Max Williams. So Kyler Murray has a lot of hype going on for him, and the hype is real. The hype is definitely real. So, and you pair DeAndre Hopkins with Larry Fitzgerald, Christian Kirk. You got Kenyon Drake. Chase Edmonds as well, backup running back. That offense is definitely gonna be firing on all cylinders, and the Red Sea will definitely be happy with their results with Kyler Murray. And Kyler Murray, his rushing yards, his passing yards, he has the making. He's a Russell Wilson 2.0. He can run, he can pass, he's accurate, he's smart, and he's so young. So that's my number 2 guy, absolutely. The next guy I wanted to talk about is going to be Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan he was drafted in 2008, and he's still doing his thing. I feel like he'll never get that credit that he deserves because he hasn't won. His playoff record is a little head scratching. So it's definitely tough. All he does, he comes in every year, throws for 4,000 yards, 20 plus touchdowns, and his interceptions, his turnovers are definitely a red flag. But if you have him as your starter, that's a great fantasy starter to have throughout the year, and especially in a tough division where you have Todd, when you have Todd Gurley in the backfield, but now you're seeing Tom Brady twice a year, you're seeing Drew Brees twice a year, you're seeing CMC twice a year, Teddy Bridgewater respectively. So the Falcons need to put up or shut up, honestly, at this point. They've had the tools. They have Julio, they have Calvin Ridley, they added Hayden Hurst in free agency, Todd Gurley in free agency. Their offensive line is filled with first round picks all around. So I really want them to do well. And Matt Ryan does throw it a lot in the red zone too. He had 88 red zone attempts. So that stems from the run game not being the best that it could be. So he feels the pressure that the touchdowns need to come from his right hand. So Matt Ryan, quality starter. I've had him too. He's a beast. The next quarterback I want to talk about is going to be Baker Mayfield, and you know, his rookie year, everyone was on that bandwagon. Like, Baker Mayfield's next up. He's next up. He's you know, the size, like, oh, he could be like a Drew Brees one day, or Russell Wilson one day, or, you know, so he didn't have the best year last year, and that's a lot of pressure. He had a lot of pressure on him because he had a very potent offense at the time, and still at the time, like OBJ, Jarvis Landry. You know, you have Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and the old line suffered because that's the key to any successful NFL team. Is just, if you can't protect the quarterback, then what are you doing? You're not going to find success. It's tough unless your quarterback is like Lamar Jackson, who's so fast, can make things happen on his feet. Russell Wilson as well. So Baker Mayfield, he had 3,827 yards. He had 22 passing touchdowns along with 21 interceptions. He had 74 deep ball attempts, and he had 36 passing plays a game. So they did give him an opportunity to throw it. But Baker has a lot to prove. You know, number one overall, like, had a great rookie year. Second year, not the best. So the third year, this is a really make it or break it year for him. And I would love for the Browns to have their quarterback of the future, definitely, in Baker Mayfield. And he's a winner. He's not afraid. He's very fearless when he throws, and he provides a spark, definitely. So Baker Mayfield, definitely a quality starter to have. I think there's more reward than risk with him, especially this year, and a lot of scrutiny and especially with Case Keenum behind him too, because their head coach is Kevin Stefanski, and if you remember, he was the offensive coordinator for Case Keenum back when he was the starter with the Vikings. So now there's that experience with Stefanski and Keenum. So Baker Mayfield is definitely feeling the pressure again, but I think he'll bounce back. The last quarterback I want to talk about is going to be Philip Rivers. And so, you know, like, Philip Rivers has not been gifted with the best offensive line throughout his career, but being on the Indianapolis Colts and having a guy like Quentin Nelson, Anthony Costanzo, Ryan Kelly, all these like pure maulers of offensive linemen, that's going to help him tremendously. And the run game that they have between Jonathan Taylor and Marlon Mack, Nyheim Hines, huge sleeper to think about. No, Philip Rivers is going to be great. I really think he is. He had 4,615 passing yards last year. He had 23 touchdowns along with 20 interceptions, 39 pass plays a game, 75 deep ball throws on the season. He had 84 red zone attempts, so there's that Matt Ryan kind of comparison where, like, if the run game's stifled, then he feels he needs to prove it with his arm. He had 72.3 completion off play action. And so that's going to be huge being on the Colts, because you can virtually put anybody back there with that offensive line and they'll do well. And that will cause a threat for the run game, and then play action, X, Y, and Z. Philip Rivers is going to thrive with the Colts. And a lot of people aren't talking about him, you know, because of his age and other kind of factors going into it. But I believe Philip Rivers is going to be a quality starter. It kind of reminds me of the Carson Palmer kind of effect with the Cardinals in a way, where, like, you know, you see an aged quarterback and he goes to a new team, but that can provide a spark, and that sparked the Cardinals that year to go to the NFC Championship, losing to Cam Newton and the Panthers. So Philip Rivers will definitely thrive in that offense for sure. And he has a lot to prove himself, you know, being with the Chargers forever, now changing teams and such, in the latest part of his career. You got to root for a guy like that. So, so those are the quarterbacks that I see will provide huge value and quality as starters in your fantasy lineups. Comment below if I missed anybody. If you guys have any ideas of other quarterbacks that will be really good this year, and huge sleepers too, like Drew Lock, Derek Carr, Daniel Jones, Haskins maybe, you know, Carson Wentz of course. So I love the feedback, guys, and the support means the world to me, as I say. So this couldn't have been done without you guys, and good luck in your fantasy drafts, and you'll see me very soon.